Hello everyone, and let's talk about the PS5. It's what, 9 months since it launched? It launched in November 2020, and I was lucky enough to get one at launch, and I did a review on it like 1 month after it had launched in December of 2020, and it was pretty, I enjoyed it, and I was pretty gave it a pretty good review. I did recommend it at the time, but 9 months down the line, kind of wondering what was the point in the PS5, really. At this point, for me, it's just largely sits abandoned now, which is kind of sad because it's quite valuable. And we could probably sell it still for a profit, though, this deep into 2021. Could punt it for a profit on eBay. That's kind of sad, really, that the stock situation hasn't really improved and doesn't look likely to improve. It's going to run, well into next year and maybe into 2023 before we see PS5s available at retail. We did do a video discussing discussing hardware prices and hardware availability in 2021, if you want to check that out. But we're going to discuss the PS5, its mighty SSD, which has since been toppled on the PC. Now, you can, there was the beta version where you could upgrade the PS5's internal SSD. You had to have beta access, but that should be coming in a firmware soon, which again I feel is largely overdue with the PS5's SSD. Doesn't really feel like a new generation console because most of the games are just enhanced PS4 titles at this point, remakes and re-releases. That's all we've seen. It's not like, it doesn't feel like the fifth PlayStation. It just feels like the PS4 Pro Plus, I guess. Like, if that was what the PS4 Pro was, I think I would have been quite happy with it. But the PS4 Pro was somewhat of a letdown. It had a better GPU, but not much of a CPU. Same with the Xbox One X. They were always held back by that CPU. Whereas with the new Zen 2 CPUs, and it's the same for the Series X. Again, it just feels like the Xbox One XL, I guess. A bigger Xbox One, really, again, with just the lack of new games. And again, part of that is down to the pandemic, really. We've seen a lot of game delays, particularly on the PS5 side. God of War Ragnarok, which only had a tentative 2021 release date, so that slipped into 2022, and more recently Horizon Forbidden West also got delayed. Only delayed till February 2022, but it's still a delay nonetheless. And then you had the whole sort of debacle with the PS5 upgrades for Horizon Forbidden West. If you bought the basic version on the PS4, they wouldn't let you upgrade it to the PS5. That seems a bit mean, essentially, because fundamentally, right, Horizon Forbidden West on the PS4 is not going to be dramatically different to the PS5 one. The only real difference is the resolution will be better on the PS5, probably a higher resolution, higher frame rate arguably, and higher graphic settings. So essentially Sony are charging you to change graphic settings. Really, that's the only real difference. I mean, does it really cost the developers or Sony that much money? Because it's going to be the same game. It's like on the PC, if you're playing Doom Eternal on a GTX 1070, but then you upgrade to an RTX 3070, for example, Doom Eternal is still the same game. Fundamentally, it's still Doom Eternal. It's not going to change the way Doom Eternal really plays. I mean, okay, you get the option for ray tracing, again, higher resolution, higher frame rate, and higher graphic settings, but they're all, you don't have to buy Doom Eternal again. It's like charging you twice for Doom Eternal to play it. Again, I don't get that. It's the same with Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima, sorry. Why I always do it plural? Ghosts of Tsushima. Ghosts of Tsushima should be what the multiplayer was called. Ghost of Tsushima, then, is the same kind of thing. Again, it's £25 in the UK, £24.99 to upgrade from the PS4 version to the PS5 version. What are you getting? Again, higher, no, not even higher graphic settings. You're just getting higher resolution and some DLC. The DLC is not worth £25, and just changing the resolution. Again, Sony are charging you to change graphic settings. Okay, you might get a little bit faster loading times because it can utilize the PS5's Gen 4 NVMe SSD. Okay, maybe that's a slight advantage there, but again, loading times and upping the resolution, the graphic settings are the same. The frame rate's the same. You know, they already got an upgrade for the PS5. It's still fundamentally it's still the PS4 version, just running at 60 FPS, and that was a free upgrade. But they'll upgrade the FPS for free, but the resolution upgrade, no, you gotta pay for them pixels. Gotta pay those UHD, pay for UHD pixels. Pixels are still the same, it's just the amount that change in UHD. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of that from Sony. I loved Ghost of Tsushima. I really loved it. I thought it was my favorite game of last year. But yeah, the PS5, nothing really great's come out on it. You've had Ratchet and Clank, which is alright. I mean, it's okay. Not worth the price though. And that's the other thing, really, is they're charging you, $70 in the US, £70 in the UK, which doesn't equal $70, we should point out. Yeah, so I just don't feel like it's worth it. And game prices of even, third-party PS5 games are just kind of ridiculous. I mean, I think the most played game that I've played is the Mass Effect trilogy. Again, it's a PS4 release. Yeah, it's got a PS5 mode, which gives you 60 FPS, but still, it's still held back by being a PS4 game. And obviously just being a remake of 3 old games. But yeah, I'm just not seeing the point in the next gen systems. Like, I wouldn't pay a scalped price for the PS5. PS5s are about, in the UK, they're about, between £600 and £700 if you want one today, and want to pay a scalper. I just don't think it's really worth it at the moment. I mean, at least the Xbox has Game Pass, at least, to tide you over. You do get the PlayStation Plus collection, which is not too bad on the PS4. Again, it's just a collection of PS4 games. I mean, we had Demon Souls at launch, and Demon Souls looked amazing. It ran amazing, and Demon Souls is a fantastic game, but it's still a game from 2009 with a fresh coat of paint put on it, essentially. And again, you had what was it again? Godfall, which was just god awful, really. But we haven't really had much since then on the PS5 to really sort of look forward to. Ratchet and Clank is the only real one that we've had, and it was okay. It was okay. It was, I don't think it was. It looked good, but it was just a Ratchet and Clank game. Like, played one, you played them all essentially. It just felt like the remake of the first game that was released on the PS4. I didn't really feel it was that much different. I'm not a huge fan of Ratchet and Clank, to be honest. It's all right, but again, I don't really care for it. But you're still playing either PS5 upgraded games like Final Fantasy 7 and 14. I nearly said 14 there, but 7 remake and 14. Did 15 get a PS5 mode? I don't think it did. I think it's got an unlimited frame rate mode for the PS4 version, but that just gives you 60 FPS anyway, because the better GPU and CPU in the PS5 there just bring it up to that locked 60 FPS. So it's not really an enhanced game, but yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of upgrades. It's nice when they do it for free, though, but I don't like the fact that they charged you, a la Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's kind of a shame there. Final Fantasy didn't charge you for the upgrade. They charged you for the DLC. If you wanted the new episode in Final Fantasy VII Remake, you could buy it. They did say it was chargeable if you just got the PlayStation Plus version. I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake. I bought it digitally, so I got the free upgrade for it, and it was pretty good though. But again, it's a game that's a year old now, that you're playing again, and it's just like a nostalgia console at this point. The PS5, sorry, in 2021, the PS4 Pro Plus, which I'm going to continue to call it. The mighty SSD, which again has been surpassed now. I've got a better one in my PC now. So I think ever since I bought the 3080 Ti, I have never really looked back at the PS5, really. Just prefer the PC because, again, they do not charge you for graphical upgrades. I think it's just a disgrace, really, that Sony are just charging you for essentially being able to play at higher graphic settings and higher resolution. Like, what's the point in that? If you bought Horizon Zero or Horizon Forbidden West, sorry, if you bought that, then you should be able to put it in like Xbox with the smart delivery. If you buy Halo Infinite, for example, if you put it in an Xbox One X, it'll download the Xbox One X version. But if you upgrade to an Xbox Series X and you put the disc in, it will again download the Xbox Series X version for you at no extra cost. And if you've got it digitally, all you have to do is go into your library and download it. And again, I guess it just reads the ID of the console that it's running from. It knows that it's an Xbox Series X, and you get the next gen version at no extra charge. People are claiming that people are being entitled, but we use the PC analogy. If you upgrade a PC, if you build a new PC or upgrade your graphics card, you expect better performance from your games, and we've been able to expect that for years now. So why can't you do that with a console game? If it's going to run cross-gen, at least let us experience the best version when we put it into the new console. I just think it's a bit disingenuous of Sony just to charge you to double dip the player base just to get better just to change graphic settings, essentially. I'm not a fan of that. But anyway, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.